everyone, and welcome on back to the MEC. We're ready to get into our final week of a season's games. It's a short day, it's a simple day, but we're getting right into it. My name's Travesty. I'm here with the man with the curly stash. Look at him twirling it, getting himself ready to go. Captain Itsoka, are you ready for the day?
I am now. I mean, I got my stash curls going, and honestly, I didn't think it was going to curl that good, but it actually does come out quite nice. So, just like my mustache curls, we're about to turn it all the way up here at the MECC. So let's get ready to get this one underway. We got Cleveland State versus Ashland University to start things off, and of course, I want to say this is our 5v5 crew battles here. So each. And no, actually, I'm tripping. No, that's like, yeah, no, wait, yeah, that's 5. Yeah, 5v5.
Yeah, I was about to say, wait, are you
no.
tripping on your trip?
Caster math equals bad. But regardless, yes, we got ourselves 5v5 crew battles, Cleveland State, Ashland University, and we're getting down to the nitty gritty. This is the last like regular season matches that we're gonna see until we head into the postseason. So again, this is somewhat of the last ditch effort to get yourself into those good standings for the playoffs.
Yeah, and to keep in mind too, today is going to be a doubleheader day for Cleveland State. This is 2 games that they're going to get to play back to back, and they're one of the top teams inside of the conference. I think a lot of the people that have been watching have been taking note of some of the notable characters that you have. I believe this is where you had like the Mr. Game & Watch come in, and the Solid Snake that comes in there that just is so hard to be able to deal with. It is a very scary school, and we're going to get a feature of them while they're going to be taking on, like you were talking about in their first matchup, a school that's honestly been impressing me the more that the season's gone on. We've seen some of the players actually really doing a good job adapting and growing as a whole from Ashland University.
Oh, absolutely. You know, Ashland constantly is, making an impression every time they come out. And, they might not have like the best record in the conference, but you could clearly see that they're improving every single week, every single match, every single game. And it's honestly really impressive. Like you said, it's making those changes, those adaptations. So that way, whenever they do go down or maybe have an unfortunate day or an unfortunate game, they come back stronger. And, that's really impressive because you don't see a lot of teams do that. A lot of teams will take an L and then that'll be it. They'll just go down into the dumps and then they'll give up. Not Ashland University. They come back and they come back twice as strong. But with that being said, they do have quite the strong opponent as well. They got CSU. And like you had already mentioned, here comes that Game & Watch. And from Ashland, we got ourselves a Falco.
Yeah, this should be on here. As you can see, already doing a little bit of some driving around. Oh man, yet again, already getting smacked with the hammers. Keep an eye on this Game & Watch. Always just very methodical about how they play. They love bringing the hammer down, and then when they take you off the stage, that is where you have to deal with the breakfast mid-sop. They're just throwing out a couple different items. It has been served, and this Falco is not appreciating anything on the menu.
Speaking of, I also had a pretty good breakfast today, and apparently so did Falco. They got served right up into the blast zone to get the first stock taken from Ashland University, and this Game & Watch already off to a fantastic start.
Yeah, this Game & Watch is so incredibly tricky to have to deal with. It's a character that is very, very weird whenever you get into that matchup. When you're Falco, you want to get into your groove. The Game & Watch is really good about interrupting that, but good from Ashland. Falco has finally found their space to be able to get in there. But, you got your hands warmed up now, but Mr. Game & Watch shows no mercy, and it only takes one moment for the percentage to get pilled up, just like he did in that first top.
And now back off into the side we go. I mean, Game & Watch now taking a good bit of damage here. That should just about do it. There we go. The revenge stock comes a little bit later, but it's better late than never.
Yeah, Mr. Game & Watch didn't get to interrupt a lot of Falco's strategy there. We did see a little bit of that coming about, but Falco doing a good job finding their groove, right? The hands have been warmed up. Good stuff coming out from them, and now it's up to them to continue to put this on. It's a character that when they get the momentum, they can juggle you through the air. They're very aerodynamic. They're very much so able to get right up into your face. And Mr. Game & Watch isn't able to dictate the pace. It actually gets to be a really hard fight for the Falco. But the Falco is doing a great job answering back here with authority here on the second top.
Oh yeah, they're hitting up tilt after up tilt, doing a good job of juggling, keeping Game & Watch kind of in the air. And to be honest, Game & Watch doesn't have the best aerial abilities. Honestly, they don't do the best in the air. And I'm finally starting to see more bombs come out, which is great because I was wondering, when are the bombs really going to start to play a toll here? Because those bombs are just such heavy hitters for Game & Watch. And speaking of, there you go. Now we got some fireworks cooking here.
Yeah, got a couple upbeats being traded about. They're looking for that decisive moment. Mr. Game & Watch is fiending for it. Sees that 130%. Is like, no, I can finish this off right here. Platforms make it deadly when they're dropping these bombs. Trying to play a little bit of edge guard. The side special to get into the neutral space. Good use of the side special yet again to get back onto the stage. Both members are very much so in KO range on their second stock as Falco finally gets the hit to launch Game & Watch on, giving themselves a nice little early lead. But it's going to be a revenge stock right on back.
Yep, that it is, and now we're back down to one stock apiece, and Falco going right to work on this last stock. 54% damage already done onto the Game & Watch here as we go right back to center stage. The up tilt did get parried, but now the second one lands. And we're at 77% now to 85. How does Game & Watch keep falling for these up tilts and now into the forward air? Game & Watch right back onto stage after the recovery, but the damage has already been done.
Falco is getting to play their game, but that's a dangerous place to be inside of there. Right under the stage, barely able to get back up with the up special as they're going to continue trying to go back into the neutral standpoint inside of this. Mr. Game & Watch looking for a raw throw time and time again. Going to be able to throw Falco on up, but there you go. Do a little split. We'll be able to recover from it. Ledge guard isn't going to connect. And now it's the pressure being applied onto Falco. Mr. Game & Watch at 140% needs to find a will or a way, but you're not going to be able to recover from that deep in. Ashlyn taking the early lead.
That they do. And again, it's the Falco. We've been seeing Falco come out so much in these crew battles. The pick rate is going through the roof, but also you got to give it up to the win rate for Falco. Falco's win rate is skyrocketing here at the MEC. And you know what? I'm all here for it just because, we see so many of those Star Fox characters. Wolf, for a good time in Smash, was doing a lot of work. But you know what? I love seeing how much Falco has really come to light here in the Midwest Esports Conference.
Yeah, inside the MEC, one of the interesting things to keep our eye on is the fact that we went from Cloud being our most picked across the board from all these teams to Falco, which is really weird to think of as a statistic, right? You go from big heavy sword to like, hey, I'm going to juggle you through the air. So, hey, I'm ready to see. Ashlyn, who are you looking to juggle through the air this time, right? Cleveland State, the ball is in your court.
I mean, come on, if we're talking about juggling in the air, especially from Ashlyn, the Bayonetta comes to mind. But again, that Bayo, I'm not expecting them until later on. That's kind of like your ace in the hole. You know what I mean? You got to save that for later. I mean, they could try to start out with a strong foot forward. Like, don't get me wrong. They could try and bring the Bayonetta out a little early. But Ashlyn, they still have that Falco. They still got at least one stock left. So I guess we got to see what CSU is going to be bringing, to kind of replace that Game & Watch. So let's see what will be coming up next for CSU as we get ready to head into our next matchup here. And I'm wondering who they're going to bring to try and finish off this Falco.
Yeah, that's my question too, right? Like, I feel like Falco's just going to let the juggle whoever they get their hands onto. Ashlyn's going to have the Falco. Cleveland is going to break out a Bayo of their own.
Well, how do you like that? I mean, I'm also a little, yeah. Again, the overlays are a tad confusing, just a wee bit, right? You looking, and we got, and it's like 2 sets of overlays, but yes, it is. If I'm not mistaken, that is a Bayo coming from Cleveland State, which is interesting because whenever I see Bayo, I always think about the Bayonetta from Ashlyn that is just put on a show time and time again. But maybe Cleveland State is going to give Ashlyn a taste of their own medicine.
I mean, yeah, they actually have a very clean Bayo on their roster. We see it multiple times. Very good at being able to create combos. Keep an eye on their wedge guard. They're actually very hard to deal with. Good use of the witch time to be able to set up, launch them into the air, and that's that clean Bayo. Cleveland State breaking it out and saying, you know what? Our Bayo is pretty clean as well. So there you go. Already back to an even standpoint between these.
Yeah, and now you see, I'm curious now. Is it possible that we might see a doppelganger Bayo versus Bayo matchup? I'm wondering how that's going to go. I don't think we're going to see it. I'm just saying it's a possibility.
For visibility's sake, I hope. Bayo versus Bayo is a very confusing one to have to witness, just because it's the same particle effect, right? The skins change those particle effects. Maybe not so much. Here we go. That is the Cloud instead. So we have Cloud coming in for Ashlyn to tackle this Bayo. This could be a very interesting matchup just because of the fact that this has some really good launch potential, some really good damage options if they're able to get onto it. But Bayo can build up those percentage, and Cloud doesn't really have a rebuttal.
And not to mention, they don't have the best recovery either. So if Bayo can just, drag them off stage, again, using those aerial combos to just combo them all the way, not even all the way to the blast zone. You just have to get them far enough away from the edge, and that recovery is not going to be any good. So again, this should be a very interesting matchup as you see that the Limit Breaker is now available. Wondering if they're going to use it, and they do. Ow. They hit the cross slash, but that's only like the first move that really landed for Cloud so far.
Yeah, it's Cloud from Ashlyn. They do like to throw out their abilities pretty wild sometimes. Very aggressive at being able to throw cross slashes and whatnot. He's throw there. I love this from a Cloud that you're just not ready to go for it. I want to see more of those slashes though. I want to see a little bit more of that, and then using that to be able to build your time to go in. We're starting to see Ashlyn going a bit more for it. Could attempt out a little bit of a down spike there, but Bayonetta's got that recovery for days. They're going to be able to get right back up onto the ledge. And beautiful stuff coming out. This Cloud is coming into their own after Bayo has built up so much damage.
Well, and again, they really need to. You really perform your best when you have to, and I think that's what we're seeing from the Cloud. They finally got a little warmed up here. They're leaning forward. They got their hand warmers, and now they're looking for this first stock. And all it's going to take is just one more solid hit. I'm honestly surprised this Bayonetta is still standing.
Honestly, this Cloud is doing a great job on defense, too. And that's something that's very notable. They are dodging out on key moves that would be knockout blows from this Bayo. Bayo's knocking power is not huge unless they can call on that other plane. While Cloud, they got that big, heavy sword. They got that limit break. They're just waiting. Cross slash connect. Bayo is gone, and now 150%, 160% Cloud is in that rage. They can do that extra damage, but Bayo wants that revenge stock to get this Cloud out of here before some work can be done.
Yeah, they do. And the thing with Bayo is that, again, they're great at applying like massive damage. The knockback potential is not so high. Again, they had to get Cloud to nearly 200% damage before taking that first stock. But now here we are. We are back in even 2 stock versus 2. And you can see Bayo already again applying that damage.
Yeah. Bayo shines, right? They're able to carry around Cloud all the way over. Cross slash hits raw, and Bayo gets that percentage evened up fairly quickly from one move. That's the difference between the two of them. The agility and whatnot that comes in. Great use of the ledge. You try and set up something on this Bayo, which time comes through, but the slash of the sword cuts through time and space and hits Bayo straight in the face. We see Cloud trying to get back up onto the stage, but this is the danger I was talking about. When you're off stage, those heels, they're gonna shoot out lasers and you ain't coming back.
And, like we had mentioned, like with this Cloud, their recovery isn't the best. And we had mentioned it earlier. You just got to take them far enough away from the stage and then they won't be able to recover. And the thing with Bayo is that we're so used to seeing them take a lot of characters all the way to the blast zone. So we know they have an insane amount of potential to carry. And again, that was just a good use of those heals, of the guns to make sure that Cloud just simply couldn't make it back to stage.
Yeah, and now this Cloud is getting punished so hard. The Witch Time got fumbled a little bit there. These wild moves that come out from the Cloud, they can catch your opponent off guard, but once they download your playbook, they are going to be able to find every kink in the armor and shoot right through it. Bayo, the 2 stocks remaining will move on to the next challenger of Ashland University.
It was also pretty nice because again, you have like the old meta Bayo kind of story arc that we remember from like what was it, like Smash Brothers Brawl, when Bayo was just like the new person on the block and was just wreaking havoc as like the old broken. I mean, I remember there was an era in Smash when Bayo was the old broken, right? And then you have Cloud, who is supposedly the best sortie in the game. Whatever, again, I'll throw my hat in that ring any day you want to talk about it, okay, dude? But guess what? You're the best sortie in the game, just lost to the old broken, okay? Bayonetta still just made quick work of that Cloud, don't you know? But regardless, all redundant points and silly voices aside, still that Bayonetta has now taken down 2 different characters, has a total of 4 stocks to their name so far. I hate being right sometimes. I really do.
Well, we eventually, like, if Cleveland State's Bayo need to stay there, it was going to be something that we were going to have to do. So we're going to have to keep our eyes peeled on out and keep out specifically, as you can already see, both sides are down to continue to dash into each other. We are just seeing a trade back and forth between the two. But Ashlyn getting the upper hand early on, getting a nice bit of damage onto the Bayo. And the interesting thing about Bayo in mirror matches like this, too, it's not just the mastery of the characters. How comfortable do you feel like you can adapt to your own playstyle, right? Because Bayo tends to have that same playstyle where it's all about those combos, carrying your target, hitting those big knockbacks. Well, guess what? All the weaknesses that you have, your opponent now has.
Oh, 100%. But you also got to keep in mind is that both of these Bayonettas, it's so funny because, they are very susceptible to knockbacks, and yet none of them have really big knockback moves. So, like you said, their strengths and weaknesses are identical. So this should make for a very interesting matchup. It's the battle of the Bayonettas.
A little bit of difference in playstyle does come about. Ashlyn is somebody who's really good at carrying, while over on Cleveland State, only them onto the first stock of this Bayo. Very good at being able to play off stage. I always use. But check it out. Ashlyn on that ledge guard gets that revenge start. Great stuff coming about as they continue to keep advantage for themselves. And stocks are even. But Ashlyn is finding a couple hands that they're catching.
Oh, absolutely. And one thing that I'm really noticing coming from the CSU Bayonetta, which is the slightly greener one, if the Ashlyn name isn't all that you're going on, is that, they're really good with their range attacks too. Whenever they get a character off stage, they're really good at landing those pistol shots, those heals, so deadly in the hands of CSU. And, Ashlyn, again, just falling, susceptible to that witch time. That's the second time the witch time has landed on the Bayo from Ashlyn.
Yeah, I mean, Cleveland's also very adept in that witch time. You do not see Ashlyn actually throwing those out too terribly often. They tend to throw them out in those critical moments, but Cleveland finds those. They do not wait for them to beat them. You can see those dashes going in, carrying up the percentage, immediately building up in favor, and that is the danger here. Either one of these characters, they touch you once, and they can just carry you on through and build up that percentage so swiftly. And now with both in the triple digits, Ashlyn getting a little bit of vengeance, going off stage, looking to fight it on out. The parry's coming through as they are going to find themselves getting carried on over. No elim, but Cleveland rectifies that. They bring in a fist from another dimension, and now you're at 120%. What you got in the tank, Cleveland?
Yeah, I mean, good luck to you. I mean, I can only hope for Ashlyn's sake that they're able to confirm this final elim, because you got to keep in mind, this this Bayo from CSU has already managed to take 6 stocks. I mean, they did their job, and then they were able to take their opponent on, and then nearly take a whole other, and also put it into the Falco. So again, they literally doubled their stock investment. Talk about a return on investment. It's the Bayonetta from CSU. That they are worth every single penny.
Oh yeah, no, they absolutely are. You see Ashlyn trying to get a couple laser shots in off of the arena, waiting, picking their moment, and there's that knockout blow. Finally catches them with a shoulder to the chin. Ashlyn, they finally get rid of Cleveland's Bayo, but at what cost? It is a heavy toll that needed to be paid.
Oh, absolutely. And now, not only that, but we don't have to worry. Well, maybe, I don't know. I assume we don't have to worry about another Bayonetta coming from CSU. But with that being said, you have to keep in mind that this is the same Bayonetta that was able to take 7 stocks by themselves. So again, even with this Bayonetta with 1 stock, should still be something to worry about. You don't know what they're capable of until they actually do it. Again, I just wasn't expecting it. And every single time, we see this Bayo from Ashland come out, all they do is impress. So again, just because they have 1 stock to the name does not mean you should not be worried about them right now. And let's see what CSU is going to be bringing to the table to try and put this Bayonetta to bed as we get ready to head into our next matchup.
I actually wonder if they might break out their snake here. Heavy character, really good at punishing Bayo. If Bayo's wanting to dash around the map, everywhere is a dangerous territory. No, it's the hero coming out actually from Cleveland State. I really appreciate their hero play as well. Very, very good. It's something that I've actually seen that a lot of teams have gotten very clean with. Also shows the best skin.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, we've seen a lot of hero play, and again, by all means, call me on my nonsense if I'm just out of line here. But this skin gives me some One Piece vibes.
I mean, fair. It's I think it's 9.
Oh, I know it's not One Piece. I know it's not One Piece.
But it's no. I'm saying it's like it's very that story. That game's story is very One Piece. So I can get it. Yeah. I'm with you. I like it. I'm here for One Piece Strike.
Well, here we are. We're off to the races now. And keep in mind that this Bayonetta does only have 1 stock. And the hero could just find random stocks out of nowhere. I mean, if they just get the right spell on the docket, then it's over. Meanwhile, you're looking, they don't have a lot of mana left. They're trying to build up their mana back. And, once they get to 20, and here they are, this is where they can actually bring out something pretty good. As you can see, they do call out the Zoom, which was an interesting spell to use at the time. And boom, just like that. We already said this Bayo from Ashland will just take stocks if you give them the opportunity.
The bad thing is that was a lot of good there. The ult was there for this hero, and that was something that they just waited out. Very well done. Using those lasers, making sure they're able to stay at range and take advantage of that low MP. And right now, yet again, hero, what you got in the tank? Nothing at the moment, but they just got enough for 1 spell. Could look for something. They go for the bang. Not going to be able to find anything past that. They're just going to continue trying to build this up. The defense from this Bayo has actually been very, very clean inside of the matchup, and Bayo's doing a great job making sure to utilize their defense. Sometimes the best offense you can provide is the best. We're seeing it yet again. Awesome, great defense. Turning things around. Yet again, hero finally finds something, but 2 stocks got taken away off the superb Bayonetta play.
Yeah, I mean, you got to keep in mind, that's a total of 5 stocks for that Bayonetta. That's a good trade. That's a good return on your investment. The previous Bayonetta, coming from CSU, they took 6. So this Bayonetta fell short 1 in comparison, but still, they covered their own stock and then took 2 more. So yeah, I think they have performed quite well. And, again, I've taken too many marketing classes. So now I'm putting everything down in terms of economics. Oh yeah, you got your return on investment for these stocks, for those stocks. Again, you got to keep in mind, this is the Midwest Esports Conference. All of these players here are in college. Some of them have probably taken some marketing, econ classes. So I'm pretty sure they can appreciate, what it is that I'm throwing out there when it comes to these stock prices. Okay, pun intended. But regardless, we're going to be heading into the next match now, and let's see what investment Cleveland State will be making, and it's going to be the Pyramithra to take on Hero.
Yeah, Pyramithra coming out from Ashland. You've seen this B, I think, has been becoming more known for Ashland. When they first started off their season, they were more so playing the Me Brawler, but they have been just growing ever so much so on this character. And some of the light that they've been able to do more so has been playing that neutral game. Has been very, very good to be able to see. I love it when they're actually able to throw out that sword, let it twirl around, let that flame speak for itself. That's been really good to be able to see, and I think it will be very important. But right now, It's a hard matchup, I feel like, because you got to deal with some of the zoning potential that can come out from a hero, and hero's got a lot of options to zone you out. As all that zoning equals 1 slash later, you're into the blast zone.
Like you said, that was a lot of zoning, and it was hard for me to keep up with it all because that menu just comes and goes so quickly. But that really felt like they just threw out like 2 consecutive bangs and both hit. And then it was just a matter of getting the finish. Again, I could be mistaken on which spells were used, but it did look like they had just 2 big bangs that managed to hit there. And then just one bang will give you up to nearly 50% damage. So again, it's like you said, hero, they just have so much in their arsenal that can do so much damage so quickly.
They need that spell slinger if you need him to be, and at 1 stock, you know what? You're taking that. You're trying to go for it. Now you're at a dangerous amount of percentage here. Good ledge guard coming in. Gets back up onto the stage. You're trying to continue to apply this pressure. Nice throw down into the dirt. The whack coming out, but can't hit the follow-up afterwards. Looking for that throw yet again. Hits with the zoomies. Is going to get caught out as soon as they come into the neutral stage here. Ashlyn trying to play some good ledge defense. They're going to be good at it. But on the other side, they're just able to find their shots, assists, the whacks. They're not finding their mark. And now, hero at critical mass. Pyramithra is going to finish things off possibly here. No, the hero still remains. Still able to stay alive.
It's so funny because like the way I look at Pyramithra, again, one of my favorite swords actually, again, I really do love Pyramithra, but I always look at Pyramithra as Edgeguard Mithra because I feel like Pyra is just there for the edge guards.
It's very fair to have that assumption too, and it's hard to deal with. As you can see, coming out, there you go, there's the game. That is 1 stock given from Ashlyn there after getting hit with some amount of potent zoning to come about. Ashlyn evening things up in terms of the player count, but the stock advantage still remaining with Cleveland State as they have 1 stock up.
Yeah, that they do. I mean, they're looking pretty good right now. So let's get ready to see what the next matchup will be to answer against the Pyramithra. And there are several answers here. Again, you know, with the Mithra, they love the Mad Dash a lot. And then, of course, you know, Edgeguard, a.k.a. Pyra, you expect to see that there on the edge. So, again, it's just, I feel like a Solid Snake would be perfect here, but I don't know if Ashlyn has a Solid Snake. That's the only problem. Again,
I know who does.
I know who does too, but you know, I think right now a good zoner would be a perfect counter to Pyramithra.
Well, let me tell you, I'm ready. Ooh, what a thrill. Let me get that snake in here, please. Okay, it's Bowser. I'll take Bowser here. Coming out from Cleveland State, going into Ashlyn. And this is an interesting one, just because it's the heavy versus the swordy, right? Bowser, the traditional endgame villain for a lot of people out there. Bowser is a pretty scary foe to have to deal with. I think they jumped one too many times.
Good game.
I don't want to play against the Bowser.
Yeah, that Bowser gameplay, that was some fantastic mind games there. Again, you know, sometimes you just got to use the old noodle to outsmart your opponent there, and they tricked them. They said, "Hey, guess what? You got 3 stocks remaining. You know, you got to drop 2."
you know, Bowser has Gios. You know, that's how he keeps getting Princess Peach. He's just like, "You're gonna." He's like, "I command you, go back to my castle."
I really wonder how many people actually watch Code Geass because again, it's one of my favorite animes. It's actually one of the first animes I watched that got me into anime, and you know, Geass is so good. You know, Lelouch de Bowser. You know,
Lelouch de Bowser. I want to see it. I'm looking up fan art of it now. Here we go. I think this will be the matchup with Ashlyn not wanting to jump off more times than they're needed. They need all the stuff.
Well, let's see how this is going to work out. Okay, we got a 2 stock here on the Pyramithra, 3 stock Bowser.
It should be an interesting bit here. Of course, the Pyramithra is... I like the fact that this has the platforms for the Mithra. You actually have a lot of good combo potential here. Bowser actually suffers a bit, I feel like, in these different scenarios. You're going to be looking at a lot of throws, a lot of down Bs that could possibly come about, but the down Bs aren't as optimal now. You're going to see a lot of those down airs to come about, a lot of shell spinning to come through. And then it's the traditional, of course, like flamethrower to come about on the ledge. But I think we're going to see a lot of them just kind of doing their best rapid spin impression here inside of the middle of the field, trying to even out with some of that neutral game. These platforms actually are to your deck.
They are, and you know, one thing I think that does kind of help Bowser maybe a little bit is the fact that this is like small battlefield, right? So there's not a lot of room for Pyramithra to kind of like dance around and stuff. So eventually they're gonna have to come into that radius of Bowser, and that's just only gonna lead to more damage. So I mean, it's a give and take. You know, yes, Pyramithra has the benefit of being with around and surrounded by all these platforms, but at the same time, they don't have a lot of room to get away from Bowser.
Yeah, it's more about the execution inside of this one here. You can see Bowser going for some interesting angles, good throw to be able to come out. Your ledge guard is pretty limited. It's effective, but it's limited. So you're going to be looking at a lot of the same stuff on this kind of a map here. Good recovery to come out. Bowser is hard to get that KO on. You need that blowback potential to be able to knock him back into the blast zone. At 170%, this is actually the most terrifying thing when you're going against the Bowser. These claws are hurting. That rage is there. It's being felt. You don't really have that big power that you're looking for at that moment in time. Finally, they get it off of the ledge, and that is big for the Smithra to be able to finalize that stock onto the Bowser before they can build up any more damage or look at KO. Now they just need to continue to pile it on themselves at 140%. One hit could be all she wrote. That drop kick has so much power.
Yep, that it does. And you know, I was getting ready to say, you know, Mithra doesn't have like pretty much any knockback potential. They have some, but they are there to, you know, to really chalk up the damage. But the Pyra, they at least have one move in their arsenal that does have that knockback potential, and that's why they're on the edge guard more often than not. So again, if that Pyra does come out in the critical damage, that's where you're going to see Bowser, you know, kind of in a dangerous position.
Yeah, see, we're seeing that punishment come about. That's what I was talking about. This is why the platforms suck for you if you're Bowser. You saw it there, down special, right into eating up that sword. Immediately afterwards, puts him into a critical state off the stage. Your recovery is okay. It is a hard okay. The biggest thing that you got in your benefit is you are heavy. You are so hard to get sent flying inside of any of these different scenarios. And Bowser, can't do that. You can't just throw down raw down special when there's these platforms in here because of the fact that Mithra can punish that very, very easy. So now you see Bowser trying to get back into a neutral standpoint, trying to get back into tangoing. They learned their lesson, but it was a costly one as now the stocks are even. It could go just about anyone's way.
It really could, but you also got to keep in mind that, you know, this Pyra Mithra, they were the ones that came into this at a stock disadvantage. They were down one stock. So again, they already did their job. You know, Bowser, you know, they're trying to avoid the equalizer, and that's what we're seeing. These stocks are now even. So if we see Bowser go down here, they're going to give the lead away to Ashlyn.
Oh, I'm starting to realize something. I'm wondering if this Bowser's actually used to, like, playing against the Mithra here, because they are getting caught on these ledge grabs so often. Pyra Mithra's doing so much work for him, going off of the stage. They're getting a little bit feisty. They're getting a little bit hot and spicy inside of the matchup here. Back to center stage, we'll be able to go, but the percentage has been built up. Nice for to be able to finalize a KO, and Bowser with 150%. They get that body slam, and they send themselves into their next matchup with that advantage. Cleveland State with that one stock advantage into what Ashlyn has nets. And if I remember right, I think that means, I'm trying to remember, who's normally anchors for Ashlyn?
Honestly, my memory is not good, but you know, I'm gonna be interested to see because I can't recall. But again, you got to keep in mind that they got to go up against the heavy. It could be Incineroar. It very well could be. We have seen a lot of Incineroar, and the thing is that if it is Incineroar, I still think that's going to be a difficult matchup against the Bowser, just because, you know, they have somewhat of, like, you know, the same proxy, being that, you know, the same proximity is what I mean. So like, they are not going to have like big ranged attacks. There's not going to be a lot of that. You got to get up close and personal, and I don't know if you want to get up close and personal with a Bowser. So let's see what the final pick from Ashlyn will be as we get ready to head into this final matchup, and then. Not only that, but we have map selection as well. Like, what if the map is Final Destination against the Bowser? My goodness. So, without further ado, let's see who Ashlyn will be bringing out to try and finish off this Bowser from CSU.
Yeah, I actually, yeah, there it is. There's Incineroar. I was correct in my recollection out here. And here we go. get a map with some platforms here. So that should be. Oh, they're both. I don't think that was planned. Bowser looks confused. He was stunned. He was stunned. They might have had to change up real quick. So we'll come back to them.
Do I want to go with Incineroar, or am I sure I want to go Incineroar here?
Might have had their own skin. You know,
maybe, you know, blue Incineroar might not be the way to go. I don't know, but
they traditionally go purple. You know,
yeah. I don't know, but we'll see. Although I do like the map, you know, the Animal Crossing map. I think that is going to be interesting just because it is a wider platform. Let me rephrase, a wider stage, and then the platforms go away at some point. So again, you know, I think this one is going to be a little bit interesting.
Here we go. I'm going to be able to go into it, and it looked like it was just a... Oh, it looks like it was just... They had picked up a wrong variant. Here we go, getting back into it. I think Incineroar is a very interesting matchup in regards to it, because you were talking about maybe you don't want to get so up to Bowser. Right now, this Incineroar is wishing that they had Flash Fire, because the flamethrowers are going to be able to build up a good amount of damage if they're not careful about it. But this is a matchup between two people who love to be able to hit massive throws on their target. It's a matchup that can swing one way or another, and honestly, Incineroar, I like the idea. One clothesline, one meat hook to come out. It's all it's going to take to finish off Bowser and put him in a terrible situation.
Well, they were already able to hit at least one clothesline that I managed to see, and you know, right now, I guess this is kind of like how you have to go against a Bowser. You know, you can't be afraid to go up close and personal when you're that Incineroar. You just got to get in and do the damage. And you know what? That's how they're going about it. Although Bowser already landing maybe like 2 or 3 hits and just about evening up the damage, and then they missed the recovery. That is a feels bad for Ashlyn.
Yeah, you can't recover off of that. That's the problem. Incineroar doesn't have great recovery. Goodbye, Bowser. But Bowser did their job. They took one stock away from this Incineroar, and now Cleveland State, the last player, can come in with a stock advantage. And Incineroar, it's a very hard one. We've seen it be popular inside of the MEC. We've seen a lot of Incineroar fans inside of the MEC. My thing is, there's a lot of picks that we have out there inside of Smash in general. But there's a lot that have great matchups into Incineroar to really punish it short. Oh. I can't hear a cat. What happened to my cat?
Nope, my bad. I'm good. That's my bad. My bad. The point is that I was saying, and it was good because I was kind of being a Debbie Downer anyway. I was saying that this Incineroar has to deal with the anchor from CSU. That's the point I was getting across here. So let's see who that will be as we get ready to get this final matchup between CSU and Ashlyn underway. It's Solid Snake.
I love it. Got the attire that makes me think back. Metal Gear Solid Collection just came out recently. I've been replaying through the games, actually. It's been a blast. Now, I get to spend my Sunday getting to cast some good old Snake. And this Cleveland State Snake is so terrifying to have to deal with. And if I'm Incineroar, I am not in a happy place about it. But this is what you got to do. This is your game plan right here. You're going to have to go in there. You got to get in the range. You can't be afraid of being danger close whatsoever. You are a giant cat. You need to express that you are the king of the jungle. And you don't need to be afraid of anybody who's walking around calling themselves the Snake either.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Solid Snake, you have to channel your inner Apollo Kage. You got to allow this one to go to bed, but no! And Incineroar takes the first stock, is able to even things up, and that Mortar Strike, I'm surprised, did not finish off this Incineroar. That Mortar Strike, so dangerous, so scary, and somehow this Incineroar is still alive. They get hit by the homing rocket, though. They're able to eat it, and somehow this Incineroar, full rage, finally goes down from the C4. And now it is a 1 stock final stand for the side of Ashlyn.
They're a grappler, they're a brawler, they got some weight to them. This is what I want to see from the side of Cleveland State, though, is I want to see a little bit more vertical game. Incineroar doesn't really have that. They have that vertical game. They've got those grabs. They've got that Alolan Lariat. They've got so many tools at their disposal from the horizontal plane, but vertically, you reign supreme. And right now, you can see it, Snake building up those percentages like it's nothing. They're in their groove. Incineroar cannot close the distance. They are constantly left with that alert exclamation mark stuck over the head, but they can't close the distance as they will find themselves KO'd. Great stuff. Cleveland State Snake comes in huge.
And Snake always does for CSU, and not just CSU, but I'm pretty sure for anybody. Solid Snake again is that character. It is such a scary character. Again, I just love seeing Solid Snake go to work, and the fact that they saved it for last. Again, I don't think it mattered who really came in at the end. If you have that anchor, that Solid Snake from Cleveland State, I don't think it mattered what character that was the final. Cleveland State really saved their trump card to the very end.
All right, well, let's go ahead and send it on over to a break because Cleveland State's time is not done just yet. Ashland had a valiant display, but now it's time for the next bit of competition. So we are going to take that short break, and when we come back, we'll be going into our second series of the day. So do not check out.
All right. Without any spoilers, how's your off season going?
Pretty good. I've climbed to my new peak rank. We got some good recruits coming in. And then I'm actually really excited for the future of Drury. We got a lot of really big changes that are going on, both on campus and off campus. So I'm excited.
Do you have any opinions, or are you hyped about the 3 new game titles coming to MEC?
I'm really excited to watch our Valorant team play against some of the other teams in the conference. Like, it might not be me playing, but I can still smack talk some of the other teams, saying, my Valorant team's better than yours, or my Smash players are better than yours. I think it's a really cool thing.
What are you most looking forward to for 2023-2024 MEC?
I'm most looking forward to not getting last. We're not gonna do that this year. We're gonna get not last. Go team.
And then, are there any schools that you're hoping to see join the conference?
I got some friends at Roosevelt University. I think it'd be cool to see them join, or even just some more schools in Springfield, like Missouri State or OTC, or any kind of school near us. Or actually any D1 schools too, like Mizzou or Kansas University. That'd be cool.
Without any spoilers, how's your off season going?
I'm gonna be honest, like it's kind of AFK. A lot. 2 of our players are out of country for most of the summer. Actually 3, and I'm just working full time. So I mean, we've been, but I think we're still gonna be confident going into the season.
What are you most looking forward to for 2023-2024 MEC?
Looking forward to the LAN events again. I mean, obviously our conference rules because of that. It's one of the biggest selling points of the area. We're looking forward to seeing all the roster changes as well, hearing a lot of different rosters coming out of all the schools. So it'll be interesting. A couple rule swaps too. So stay tuned for that.
Do you have any opinions, or are you hyped about the 3 new game titles coming into MEC?
I think it's a cool thing. Obviously, esports growing is always going to be something that is good for the scene. It's still cool to see that like other games are getting some of this.
Hello, everyone. Welcome on back to the MEC. We're ready to get into our second game of the set day, our second out of 3 series. Cleveland State coming back again to go against Campbellsville. My name's Travesty. I'm joined here with Captain Soka. How are you doing, my guy?
I'm doing pretty swell and all as well. We've already got to see one great matchup already from Cleveland State against Ashland, in which case they took the dub. Now I'm interested to see if they can do it again.
Can they replicate success? It's one of the most difficult things. It sounds super simple, so easy, right? You've already tasted success. Why not do it again? Well, ahead of them, Campbellsville looking to play spoiled to that. Leave a little bit more of a rotten taste in their mouth. The bitter taste of defeat at the very least. So let's see what we got. Start off our series here. It's the Poly and the Hero.
You know, I love this just because, we already know that Palatina is a consistent zoner. Arguably one of the best zoners in the game, other than Solid Snake. but hey, in all seriousness, though, if we have learned anything from the last game with this hero, is that if they have the right spells, they can be quite the zoner themselves.
100. One of the most diverse characters in terms of playstyles, I feel like, because you just have so many different playstyles that you can choose from inside of the game. So, look at that, already get that shield break. It's Hatchet Man time. Sends a fly, but Ollie actually survives the hit there. So they were, oh my goodness, that's brutal. That's brutal. Oh no.
Oh yeah, we saw them try and hit the snooze so many times on their Bayonetta in that last matchup again, and it's only a matter of time if they keep using it that it will land. But still, one of the best moves I've seen is using the snooze on someone off stage and just let them fall to their doom. Have yet to see that be replicated. So again, anytime a hero comes out, you've just got to watch out for that snooze ability.
Yeah, you gotta keep our eyes there. Make sure that you're okay. You can see right now, Polly is getting a little upset about that, you know, rightfully so. They're trying to throw out some fireballs and whatnot. You got some very consistent zoning, but the kaboom coming in, blasting Polly here. Polly is not able to find any distance with no mana, but it is regenerating. This is where you would think Polly needs to strike, but they do not have the platforms or anything like that to work out with current moment in time. So now get a grab, and now they want to try and do that standard juggling that we see from Polly's own.
Here we go. I mean, already that first stock is gone, but Hero at 90%, they're in the danger. So all it's going to take is one good hit from Polly, and that will be the first stock. But again, the damage on the second stock has already been done, as it does look like Hero is again going to continue to find these openings. And here comes the psych up now. It shouldn't take much more. And the oomph is there, but they're not going to be able to land it, as Polly is just really trying to catch up here. But they can't seem to take this first stock from Hero.
Yeah, Hero's done a good job of getting in the face of this Polly and dodging out on these pot shots, these fireballs and whatnot. It's been very, very nice to see. And gets the heal, gets a little bit of that percentage healed up. They want to get one more hit in here to finish things off, but the platform actually coming in like a limousine. And Hero is the one that's going to be riding up inside of it.
And still, I'm surprised that both of these players are actually still standing until finally, wait a minute, there it is! Palutena finally able to put an end to Hero's first stock. But look how much damage is already done, 138%. That's going to be a lot to catch up to as that back air does land, and it's going to take the second stock from Palutena.
Oh, Polly's in. Very rough scenario. Good bit of juggling to be able to come out. The Polly getting a little bit more warmed up. It can be a very difficult job navigating some of the BS that can come out. But you can see, you can already feel that this Hero is able to just goes in. They're doing such a good job just navigating any zoning material that could possibly come out. A little bit low on mana, and enough for one big move if a moment dictates it. So Polly's got to be careful. Instead, they're going to use that mana to resuscitate themselves with a little bit of heal.
And now you can see we're going right back to the center stage, and Hero has taken a lot of damage as those fireballs from Palutena could be the end of the Hero's second stock, as that one does land, and now follows up with the up air. And there you have it. We're back down to one stock apiece.
And don't sleep on Campbellsville's Palutena here. Their Palutena is insanely good. You have to keep respect on the name of Polly. And this is a character, we've seen this player time and time again. Come back. One stock is all they need, but look, only one ability is all they need. Finally, they get a KO blow, and Hero from Cleveland State gets to come into the next round with
Yep, that they do. And again, that was a fantastic round there, just coming from Hero, because again, we saw Palutena try and throw out the fireballs. Well, guess what? You know who else has a fireball? Hero does! And it was just really interesting, and it also got me thinking, like, whose fireball hits harder?
Well, you know, it's a Hero in that situation. The fireball is a great tool. You don't have to rely on mana to send out your big fireball as Polly, but it is one of those cases where you have to reflect and just look at how Hero played that. Really good stuff, really close and personal. Now, Campbellsville, they said, okay, cool. We got a Bowser of our own. Let's go ahead and get it. It's going to be a very interesting matchup, because I feel like if you're Hero, just stick to zoning, and Bowser doesn't have a good time.
Well, let's see how this big heavy is going to do against this very diverse sword. They already get a stun. My word, wow. Already being able to apply 50% damage to this Bowser, but we already know it's going to take a lot more than that to take the first stock off of this big, giant, hefty turtle.
Oh man, Hatchet Man them right up in his face. I love it. This Hero is feeling themselves at this current moment in time, and Bowser, they got their work cut out for him, right? You gotta watch out. Hero can catch you off guard very quickly. That's what you need to do. You need to get up close, personal, let the claws do the talking, get a couple body slams in there. Get a little bit of that hit going in there. Get them with that down special. Tries to go for a straight drop kick, but they're only going to be tasting dirt. As you can see, there it is. There's the back air. Finally, Bowser's able to finish things off. Wow, that was a start.
To be honest, I really thought Hero was going to take at least one stock off the Bowser just from the way they were playing. And you know what? Had that bang landed off stage, it honestly might have been enough to take the first stock. But with that being said, let's see now who the side of Campbellsville, or rather, I'm sorry, the side of Cleveland State is going to bring out to answer against the Bowser. As now we're back even. You know, the same stocks are at 12 stocks apiece. And now it's time for Cleveland State to reach into their arsenal to see who they're going to bring out next.
I actually wonder if Mr. Game & Watch would be a good option. Just because
Called it.
I'm really good at calling things today. I really like the idea of Mr. Game & Watch inside the matchup, and I think it's pretty optimal for you if you're Mr. Game & Watch, if you're able to get your flow in here, especially with these two platforms. Like I said, Bowser is not a friend of platforms, but Bowser's getting a good advantage off of some throws and off some good early hits.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also kind of impressed with how you called this one, too. Like, right as it was happening, you know, the Game & Watch coming from CSU. And I honestly wonder how Game & Watch is going to do against this one. Just because, you know, when I think of, like, counters to Bowser, Game & Watch doesn't come to mind. And not very often, anyway. So, again, I just don't know if this is the best matchup. I mean, even now, you know, it looks like Bowser's doing a pretty good job of handling their own against this Game & Watch. As Game & Watch, one good solid hit away. A drop kick, you know, that back air, like we just seen against Hero, will be all it takes. And then the first stock would be gone.
Yeah, they're getting hit with so many grabs here. Like, the theory I had was, right, you can fry up some breakfast, right? You have some good things to deal with. Bowser's not great recovery. The bombs are a great approach, right? You have a fantastic time dealing with him on these platforms. If he tries to down special and lands on a platform, it's the Game & Watch punishes it so easily. But they're not getting any of that. This Bowser's doing a supreme job of making sure to get in their face, dodge out on any of the offense, and they're hitting those throws that are so massive to be able to see. And they're not getting caught up on the platforms either. This Bowser is playing on a class of their own. Here you go, Mr. Game & Watch is starting to feel themselves a little bit more. And some of the reasons that I was expecting Mr. Game & Watch got showcased for a little bit, but it's Bowser. The pros of Bowser is they hit like a truck.
Yeah, that they do. And you know what? I need to know. The body slam from Bowser, is that their down B? Is it the side B? What ability is that of Bowser as they take the second stop from Game & Watch?
Bro, they're just using everything when it comes down to them. It is just straight up. They are going for these grabs. They're constantly getting that pressure put onto them. And it's good stuff from Mr. Game & Watch. It's a little bit too late for me. That was a good revenge stop, but you revenged 2 stocks with that 1 KO that you got there. And there we go. Starting to get a little bit more of that. Get those throws going if you're Mr. Game & Watch going in there. This Bowser has a pretty straightforward game plan. These rapid spins now, this change up they're starting to throw in. Game & Watch, they got too many things that they gotta watch out for.
Also, what's really I find really impressive with the Bowser is that they are playing very patiently. You know, they're not rushing or forcing the issue here, and they're not even trying to get like too many big moves off. A lot of times they're just going for these, again, for these spike spins, and they're going for the forward airs. I'm seeing a lot of forward airs coming from this Bowser. So again, it seems to me like they're playing for the long game, and I think it's working really well for them.
Yeah, this is another, again, body slam of a throw coming in, but they're A-okay with it. The hammers do not hit. You're not going to be able to crack those shells with just some mallets. A simple drop kick sends Mr. Game & Watch back to just watching, as they're going to have to spectate on how their team deals with this Bowser, who now has a 2-stock advantage.
Yeah, and I gotta be honest, those are some big feet to take to the face. I mean, I'm sorry, if you take a drop kick from those, you're pretty much done for. But with that being said, we have seen the comings and goings of Mr. Game & Watch, and now it's time for Cleveland State to try and bring out their next pick. And I gotta tell you, Travis, you've been predicting good. Who do you think would be a good matchup for this Bowser for CSU?
I don't want to see Snake. I know that. That's the one I don't want to see. I think you don't pick Snake here. even though Snake can zone out the Bowser, Bowser's doing a good job of being able to hold their own defensively. So I actually think you save the Snake. I wonder if you do go into a sword here. I wonder, actually, Bayo might actually be a weird option, but Cleveland State's Bayo is pretty good, and they're good at using the Witch Time. Maybe they take advantage of more of the defensive standpoint of the Bowser, and they press the issue to where that defensive standpoint is punished a bit. I'm going to go Bayo. Bayo's going to be my pick. I'm going to go Bayo.
All right, well, let's see if you're right as we get ready to head into our next matchup. It's going the one character you didn't want to see, but could possibly be the answer for this Bowser. Oh my goodness, here we go. The Solid Snake going up against the big bad King Koopa. Let's see who's gonna reign supreme.
So the reason why I didn't want to see it is because I do worry about the fact that the Bowser can take a stock off of the Snake, and it might be better served waiting the Snake out. But Snake has a lot of good things. I was talking about it a little bit on my reasons on why you would possibly pick it, which is the zoning that you could possibly get in there. And we are seeing quite a good amount of that right now. Check it out. You actually have a satchel charge in the middle of the arena, so if Bowser comes in, they get immediately punished for it. That's actually some really good zone control. So Snake immediately punishing, and this Bowser actually has no tools to get in, and they're not, this defensive style is actually getting punished quite admirably by the Snakes. And the Snake showing this is exactly why you pick the Snake at this moment in time, as Bowser is getting their shell cracked.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? The main reason being is because Bowser, again, they're a big heavy. They're not the speediest character. They're not the best when it comes to dodge, duck, dip, diving, and dodging. So it really just makes them a gigantic target for all of this utility. The homing rockets, the nades, the C4, the mortar strikes. Again, they're just too big of a target for a player like Snake.
Gonna take full advantage of it. The bigger the target, the harder they fall. Go ahead, snap the neck, twist them around, send them off the field. The homing rocket comes in, doesn't find its mark. But this Snake has put on a masterclass already, 180%. Bowser, you heavy, but are you heavy enough to deal with this? You're gonna go ahead and bring the rump down onto a bomb. A whole arsenal is being put in with explosive authority as they continue yet again, snap that neck and kick him up into orbit. Bowser sent packing.
That's not fair. They throw the nade and the C4 down low and then throw the homing rocket up high. So then Bowser, there's no way you could go. You either sit down and you take a C4 up the tuchus, or you have to jump up into a homing rocket. Oh, Snake, just so good. So good. You love to see it. And now, oh my goodness. I mean, they did bring out their trump card early. We even mentioned it before. CSU, they saved Snake for last. It's arguably, one of their best picks. So again, they brought it out a little early here. I wonder what Campbellsville might have to bring to the table in order to answer back. And, maybe do they bring out their trump card? Do they try and go with their best pick? Or do they simply just try and go for a counter? Well, let's get ready to find out as we get ready to head into our next matchup and see who it will be. It's going to be Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas coming out. I was trying to think of all the options because I was like, the Polly's gone. And Polly is who I would have thought would have.
Zoner v Zoner.
Some fun stuff. Yeah, a little bit of Zoner v Zoner. You either challenge the Snake at zoning, or you say, okay, I can't challenge you at zoning. Let me get up in your face. I like the idea of Lucas, but it's a very. You gotta play this matchup really, really well as Lucas.
I have a saying in Smash is that you either die a hero or you live yourself long enough to see yourself become a Steve.
Oh, are you saying that somebody's going to become a Steve?
No, I hope not. But that's how you know the villain arc has been completed, is when the Steve comes out. They've had enough. I've seen it happen. I swear I've seen it happen where, someone, again, I'm not going to drop names here, but they were literally playing as a Bayonetta throughout the entire length of a tournament of a league, and for the very last match when they were losing, they switched to Steve.
Well, right now, nobody is feeling their villain arc coming about at the current moment in time. Instead, it is just, they say, hey, you know what? I'm gonna have to deal with this Lucas, continuing to send out that arsenal. Lucas is not appreciating any of this. Every single time they get into the stage, immediately, Snake just grabbing him, tossing him out, grabs him by the collar of the shirt and yeets him on out. Good stuff coming in, but Snake's percentage has been climbed up, something that can't be ignored. He's done a great job laying in a good bit of that hurt. You had some counter play to these projectiles that have been coming about, but Snake's done a good job saying, hey, I'm not just an arsenal, I'm a soldier. I got CQC packed into my DNA.
Well, right now I got to give it up to Lucas just for getting this amount of damage onto Snake already, being able to close those gaps. But I mean, look at this. You got Solid Snake already looking to lap Lucas here, and they're pretty close to doing it. And there it is. They managed to get another stock off of Lucas the same way they did the first time, just by using that up smash.
Yeah, notice the up smash yet again. Snake. So hard to actually deal with in a zone v zone matchup as Lucas. You have some tools to be able to get in, but Lucas has been shipping. Finally finds the stock that it was needed. And at this moment in time, you're looking to see if you can possibly get another one. But hey, getting danger close, getting with that CQC has become a very tricky scenario to be in when you are this Lucas, especially when there are grenades just hailing around you.
Yeah, also when you're taking multiple combat bicycle kicking boots to the face, that could also do a little bit of damage. But how about another up smash? 3 consecutive up smashes, sweet Shen musics to finish it off every single stock. It ended center stage with an up smash from Solid Snake.
Yep, and you know, that was a dance that Lucas wasn't planning on. That was not exactly what they were imagining. They came into the stage, like you said, sweet Chin music. Didn't realize Snake was tuning up the band, but there it is. Good stuff. And hey, now we go into our next round. If you're Campbellsville in this situation, right? I do wonder, you have 2 picks left. And I'm trying to think, do you go for something that's more like the a little bit of a heavier swordsy to try to get in there, like Cloud? I don't think that's optimal. I think you want to try and figure out some way to get into Snake's face in some shape or form, and just not let him get into his flow of throwing down all those grenades and being able to just set you up with all these different throws and homing rockets.
Yeah, honestly, I really do think you need a good sortie or even a speedster. Hear me out. Get yourself a good speedster, maybe somebody like Little Mac, who can, again, I don't think Little Mac might be the best matchup because they're very susceptible to damage, but a speedster can run past a lot of that utility and close that gap very, very quickly. So if you can close that gap in and get those KO punches in, you could put it into Solid Snake. It's a high risk, high reward play. I don't think it's gonna come out, but I understand if it does. It's either get yourself a speedster or maybe bring a sortie to the match. Honestly, I think a Byleth could be a good pick as well because they do have that long reach. But with that being said, I have not seen a single Byleth pick so far this season for the MEC.
Yeah, there hasn't been one just yet. I was thinking when you said speedster, I was like, oh, maybe a Falco could possibly come out.
Falco.
I could see a Wolf. Rob is a very interesting one. Big bots, like you were talking about with the Bowser matchup. Makes it very easy to get those balls and be able to put on that hurt. But I look over at Rob, and I'm also just like, you're the jack of all trades, right? But how do you deal with Snake's personal at this point in time? You got lasers, you got gyros, and Snake comes fully equipped with a lot of things in their arsenal.
Well, so far, Rob just looks like they're playing a platformer because they're just jumping over every single nade, every single explosive. They're jumping over Snake to avoid the grapples. And, you know, they're doing a decent job so far. Notice that I said so far. But, again, it just looks like that Rob is just playing a platform 2D, you know, just game right now. And they're trying to avoid all the damage, but eventually they can't avoid it forever. As now you can see Rob does manage to close the gap, but not to their benefit. They're just taking more damage now from this Solid Snake.
So much work, and look at that, the homing rocket coming in, finishes off Rob off on the side, and Rob with that fantastic recovery. This is some good offense being just put in. Look at that, climbing up the percentage, slapping them on the percentage. Snake doing a great job, and off the stage you go, another homing rocket caught. Are they just gonna straight up 100 to 0 them? They will do just that. No revenge here for you, Rob.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh!
Ooh. That was the first time I think I've seen Snake fail to recover. That was the first time I don't think I've seen Snake fail a recovery. That I was not expecting that at all, but still, one stock remaining, and they do have the damage advantage. So again, no love lost there. I'm just really caught off guard by that.
Yeah, same. I just being caught off guard. I wonder if they were expecting something from the Rob a little bit more effective on the side. But the Rob was just sending out the gyro, and it was enough to make it a little bit of an error. And that's why you always see people go for those little setups on the ledge. That's why they're so important. Putting pressure onto your opponent does more than you know. The mental advantage that it can give you. You can see Rob trying to go up, escalate themselves to the side, soar on up, but not going to be able to catch out Rob there in the orbit. And check out the satchel right there in the middle of the Pokeball. Rob getting a little too close, immediately back it up. Good bait. Great 8 out of 10.
And again, you just see all that utility, but good on Rob, as we said earlier, was avoiding a lot of that damage, and now it looks like they're playing a very defensive game, just trying to find their openings, and now they have just about evened up this matchup here. And it's going to come down to the wire as that nade does land. One stock, and take a look at that. It will be Solid Snake to finish out Rob and force out the final pick from Campbellsville.
This is so dangerous. This is so ridiculously dangerous. This is Snake running the gambit at this moment in time. Last player from Campbellsville to come into the Snake. Yes, Snake only has one stock. This is what I always think is dangerous, though, when you're thinking of characters inside of a crew battle, because I think your meta completely changes based off of crew battles, like the methodology that can come about here. Characters that are only on one stock but have an equal opportunity to KO you with an arsenal like Snake has is a very, very scary thing in this moment in time when you still got to run through 2 other players after Snake gets dropped. So now you got to pick a character who can deal with Snake, who can be okay with it. What the? That's our first Wario!
Unless the person playing this Wario is C-Stick down, I don't know how this is going to go. I've only seen one really good Wario, and that was C-Stick down. So again, you know, this is an unorthodox pick, but who knows? It could be the right pick. It very well could be. We haven't seen a Wario here at the MEC. This is the first one, so for all we know, this could be the one.
All right, let's see if I can do all this here. They're trying to make Snake go wow, but right now they're the only one won. As those bombs, those grenades are doing in the work. The surfer side mittens of theirs being able to do some good work of their own, laying in some good damage onto this Snake. Trying to get in there, get that jaw unclenched onto this Snake, and is doing a good job zoning out, but Wario getting a good bit of percentage traded with the Snake all the time here. Snake might also have some trouble because not every day you have to go against a Wario.
You know what is also kind of making me wonder a little bit here is where's the motorcycle been at? I mean, the motorcycle is one of the best moves in Wario's arsenal, and we haven't seen it come out yet.
Well, he's going to be riding it up to the skies at this rate. No motorcycle just yet, as Snake is going to continue pummeling Wario in this instance. And Wario down a stop. Snake, the job is done, but they're not finished just yet. They want to over-succeed, right? They want that S rank on this mission here, and it is a mission in which they're trying to leave no survivors from the side of Campbellsville.
And well, now they're just getting hit time and time again. The nade into the up smash. We already know how dangerous that Sweet Chin music can be. Looking to get the final stock, and Wario finally able to put an end to Solid Snake. But after taking 2 stocks, I mean, I even lost count. I really don't know the total stock count for the Solid Snake.
I mean, the crazy thing is, too, right? The Wario going over and checking Snake like that, I actually really admire. We've actually seen a lot of people just sit on the ledge and kind of play that mind game of like, am I going to roll in? Oh, what am I going to do when I come off of this ledge, huh? And we've seen a lot of players actually just linger on it. Good on Wario to actually acknowledge, like, hey, Snake is sitting on this ledge with all these bombs over here. I bet he won't expect me to actually just dash in and just immediately slap him across the face, you know? Give him a good old Wario backhand. But now, who else is up? Well, it's Bayonetta, and I don't think Bayonetta will take kindly you trying to give that Wario backhand.
Well, we'll have to see. You got to remember, Wario's got to give some stocks away here. You know, that Solid Snake, at least to somewhat, again, at least that I was able to recall, that had to be at least 8 stocks that Solid Snake had taken. Actually, 7. 7 bare minimum.
I hate that Wario just straight up just shows his rear to the camera. How dare you, Wario? How dare you? As you can see, Bayonetta already looking to take it a little personal. Just gonna go ahead and strut their stuff and lay in a couple hits on the Wario. Oh my goodness!
Oh yeah, you gotta watch out for these chompers. Wario has a massive bite again, and I'm really surprised we haven't seen the motorbike. The motorbike is such a good piece of utility, and again, I'm just so surprised we haven't seen it yet. Meanwhile, we do see the witch time leading into some more air combos, and already Wario is at 100% damage. There's the motorcycle! Yeah, but did you know the motorcycle also does damage when you use it?
Yes. Great, right? But something that isn't great for Wario is getting punched into orbit. So there you go. Cleveland State 6-0 after a magnificent performance. Great recovery coming out from the Snake, eliminating the Bowser, and then it went all downhill from there. Nobody was able to round out that Snake, and momentum swings their way. So good stuff coming out from Cleveland State.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it was the Solid Snake from CSU that just put on such a clinic. Again, bare minimum 7 stocks, at least to my count. Again, I might have missed one in there, but regardless, it's still a phenomenal showing. And then not to mention CSU in general as a team, just so strong, so formidable. They went 2 for 2 today. They popped off. They're going to be a massive threat in the postseason without a doubt. So by all means, this is an elite team. So big kudos to them. But with that being said, that is going to be it for CSU. They've had their doubleheader. They are done for today. And after this break, we're going to come back to Benedictine taking on Miami, Ohio. So you're not going to want to miss that. Stick around for more Smash right here at the Midwest Esports Conference.
Hello, everyone. Welcome on back to the MEC. We're ready to get into our final series of the day and of the regular season, as we are looking at Benedictine University taking on Miami, Ohio University. We're going to be going into this matchup here shortly. My name's Travis C. I'm joined here with Cap. Cap, are you ready for this final match of the season?
I'm about to say, I answered very quickly because yes, I am very ready. I've been looking forward to seeing this matchup all day long. Again, you got Benedictine taking on Miami, Ohio. Miami, Ohio, such a fantastic team. Benedictine as well has had quite a pretty good record so far, but let's see how they're going to stack up against Miami, Ohio as we get ready to head into our first matchup here. Let's see what the heavy hitters will be bringing, and already it's going to be Benedictine bringing out the Solid Snake versus Miami, Ohio's Kirby.
Kirby has been infamous for what it does here. The combo got interrupted by a grenade that was immediately thrown down, but check this out. Miami, Ohio, they've played against their fair share of snakes, and they are not a fan of what they can do if they are able to get their space. So you can see, automatic already putting that down, trying to get in there, putting a little bit of work. Good grenade play coming out from the Solid Snake, as they're looking to just continue pressing the envelope forward, but Kirby being very aggressive up in the face of this snake. Definitely more so favoring that zoning playstyle, as Kirby with the snake outfit is always great to see.
Kirby with a beard, I think is the best thing ever. But, you know, we were even saying this in the previous matchup when CSU was bringing out their Solid Snake. You know, I had even mentioned that, you know, a speedy character would go good against a snake. And Kirby, you know, pretty speedy little pink puffball there. So I think this could actually work out pretty well.
Yeah, and, you know, immediately smack him up with the feet there. Good stuff. Kirby got grenades of their own, as they are going to continue just throwing these out, and it's just are we playing Smash anymore? They're just throwing grenades at each other.
I love it too. Again, you're literally getting a taste of your own medicine here, and this is why Kirby is just so great. You want to know how to answer a snake? It's Kirby. Like, Kirby is now the definite counter to snake. Gotta be.
A couple neck twists there from the Kirby. Kirby dodging out of that in the weave. Great stuff yet again. This Kirby making sure to keep things from dodging out on all the numerous projectiles coming in. The mortar fire doesn't find its mark. Kirby is at dangerous high percentage though.
Yeah, Kirby's up B on the edge, very dangerous. Nearly finding an opening. Honestly, I'm still surprised that Kirby is still standing after 150% damage, because they are literally squishy. Like, this is the definition of a squishy character, right? I mean, they are a pink puffball of silly putty. They're squishy.
The squishmallow is smack. No.
Yes. Oh, I need a Kirby squishmallow now.
Hey, I'm surprised it hasn't happened. I'm gonna be real.
It has to exist somewhere. Somewhere out there. Somebody link it to me, please. But right now, the snake is asking somebody to link him a tutorial on how to deal with this Kirby, because it's infuriating to him at this point. Finally gets a stock off, but that's a revenge stock for 2 whole stocks. That is very unfortunate. So you see Kirby is trying to get in there and say, all right, you need to be brought down, Snake. Well, again, you know, I was honestly worried about Snake not, you know, going down at all. Like, maybe even seeing CSU come away with a 7-stock advantage like we saw in the previous matchup with this Solid Snake from Benedictine. But, you know, this Kirby from Miami, Ohio, my goodness.
My goodness!
Showing us how it's done. Textbook, how to deal with a Solid Snake 101. Miami, Ohio, teaching us all how to get the job done. What a fantastic first bout coming from both of these teams, actually. But again, it's that Kirby from Miami, Ohio. My goodness.
Bro, what the heck was that? Kirby was just like, Snake's laying on the ground, taking a nice nap, and Kirby's just like, no, wake up, wake up. Keeps kicking him, just continuously doing it. Like, this Kirby is a massive threat, and now Benedictine, they had to send out somebody new to be able to deal with this Kirby. They saw a heavy zoner like the Snake did not work in this instance. So, for Benedictine, this is the school that I have the most question marks, because I do feel like they have a very much so differing roster. They have a pretty deep roster of players that tend to continuously rotate around. So, my eyes are kind of like, yo, what do you have? You're the school that I'm probably has the most air of mystery around him.
Yeah, so again, it's going to be interesting to see who they decide to bring to take on this Kirby. So let's find out. And it's going to be a Wolf. Okay, I actually do kind of like this. I feel like brawlers go good against Kirby, and Wolf is pretty dangerous when they get up close.
I like the brawl, they like the hustle. You know, Wolf's dangerous when they get up close, but that's also the name of this Kirby. They're just waiting on the platform. They're fine. They're gonna go ahead, get the taunt. We got a Howl coming about, and just ducking underneath the laser there. Just Kirby things.
It's just so cute when they duck underneath the laser because they just squish. That's all they do.
I'm telling you, the Squishmallow has to be a thing. Has to be. Wolf might not have the same kind of calls for merchandising as Kirby does. They're trying to answer back though and show some of those claws that they got against this Kirby though.
Well, going right back center stage, you can see some of those up tilts do land, but not leading into any big combos just yet. Another up tilt. And they're just kind of slowly chipping away at each other for the most part. I mean, the spread is not that wide. It's like 10%, now 20. And it will be... So wait, when Kirby drop kicks, is it a forward air or a back air? It's hard to tell.
I think it's a back. It's been a while since I've been... Oh, you're dirty! You're absolutely dirty, Kirby! I saw what you just tried to do there! That's disgusting!
Again, I just gotta talk about, you know, the physicality of Kirby here, because they're spherical, right? So when their foot pads go to one side or the other, you can't tell if it's the front or the back.
Oh man, Kirby gets punished, rightfully so. I can't believe Kirby just tried to do that inside the match. But hey, it's what you do. This is what you do when you play Kirby. You get a little hype. You do a couple moves that make people infuriated whenever you have to go into Wolf. Has to be cautious about every single thing they do. I love how they're constantly moving up these neutral airs, but Kirby doesn't take much. An inch becomes a mile as soon as you blink.
Yeah, Kirby is just so dangerous, especially this Kirby from Miami, Ohio. I mean, they've already proven their own against Solid Snake, and, you know, being able to go, you know, I guess, hand-to-hand against the Wolf should be no big problem for them. But look at this. I mean, the Wolf coming from Benedictine managed to answer back, get the back there to put Kirby to bed. But that Kirby, you know, had already done this damage. That's 5 stocks taken by that one Kirby.
Yeah, now you're a Wolf with 1 stop. And I think that's a very dangerous territory to be, because Miami, Ohio, we talk about it all the time. They are the school that, for me personally, I look at being the favorite going into playoffs, just because of the fact they have not been beaten yet. They have a win-loss that has 0 blemishes in regards to it. So Miami, Ohio, right? They get scrappy. Sometimes they get dropped down to their last player. But very rarely do we get those instances. And so far, it's only really been Cleveland State who has been that team to make Miami dig deep. So now the question from Miami, Ohio, what do you grab? You grab another heavy hitter? You started off with your Kirby. Does the Ice Climbers come out at this moment in time, or you just come in and mix them up with that? It's the Villager instead.
And I also do love the Villager. Villager is just so much fun to watch. And again, it's not because, you know, I'm a big fan of Animal Crossing. I'll be honest, I've never even played Animal Crossing. I just love watching Villager go to work and smash. You know, I love the trees. I love the fire hydrant. It's just a really fun character to watch play.
Yeah, well, it's not fun to play again. Because you have to deal with this mid-sop. The hydrant, the bowling ball, the slingshot. It is always filling up your screen when you're going against a Villager. And that isn't even when the tree comes into play. As you can see that getting dropped on down. Here we go. More aggression to be able to come about. And that is the danger of a Villager. They're constantly going to keep you on your toes. Potted plants, everything that you can get from Tom Nook. It is all must go. And there you go. Put him in the dirt. Put him 6 feet under a bowling ball to send him off into the sky. Villager with a clean round.
Yeah, what stock? I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. One stock, Wolf? What stock? I didn't see a stock there. Did you see a stock? Because I don't see a stock there. Again, the villager just came in and did work. I don't know what to tell you. Like, that was quite the performance, to say the least. And you know what? If the villager can continue to do that, I don't know. This could be, I don't know, the top hitter coming from Miami, Ohio. I don't know. But let's see how Benedictine will answer to the villager. And again, this is a character that has so much in their arsenal. It's going to be interesting to see what Benedictine will bring. And they're going to bring a Jigglypuff.
Hey, yo. Okay, so we're seeing Miami, Ohio has a couple Melee All-Stars on their team in terms of Pokemon that are insanely good in Melee. We get the Jigglypuff special coming in here. One that I believe we've only had one time in the time period. But, look, they're trying to make it to where this might be one of the few times you ever see it. That is pure punishment.
Yeah, it is. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Jigglypuff. They're my favorite singer-songwriter. But, you know, in Smash, you don't get to see too much of them. So it's going to be interesting to see on what exactly it is that they're going to try and pull against a villager.
Yeah, usually Jigglypuff puts other people to sleep, but right now, the villager is looking to put them to sleep. Give them a good old dirt nap, take them on out of here. We're seeing a lot of offense off the ledge, but they're not able to build up the percentage onto this villager. The villager finally gets on. They plant a nice tree. That is great. Love to see. Hydra coming on about. You go ahead, backdash into it, and yet again, this offense is so hard to deal with. This villager is just at 30%, and they have taken 2 stocks from this Jigglypuff.
2 stocks from the Jigglypuff, 1 stock from the Wolf. I mean, that's already a total of 3. They get the net going. Now they follow it up with the forward air. No radish, or whatever plant that may be. I don't even know what they threw out there. The bowling ball, though, we can all recognize that. That is not organically grown.
Yeah, no. You can't get that in the farm. You have to go to Nook Shop for that one. But we'll continuously make sure to utilize that as the fire hydrant comes in. Nice little mix-up opportunity to be able to come in here as they continue to lay in to hurt the bowling ball. Trying to put them inside the nets, trying to catch you a Jigglypuff. Send them on packing. Good bit of action. The tree is there. Jigglypuff is going to go ahead and come on back through the fire hydrant. Will keep Villager safe, and Villager has some great recovery as well, just like the Jigglypuff does. This Villager's not bad. Power rolling out. This Jigglypuff looking for vengeance, but will get sent into the blast zone instead. Villager, no stocks lost.
Not a single one. Villager putting on for their squad. I mean, again, not only do they win, but they win very quickly. Like, I don't feel like that match lasted very long.
No, blink and you miss it. And you can see, like, the Jigglypuff has some cool things. I like the rollout that came out there at the very end, right? Like, yo, you get into the face of this villager, right? Because the villager is playing their own game. We saw there was a time at the platform where villager was just like, all right, check this out. I got bowling ball and secret tech. Bowling ball. Oh, and you want to hear about this other tech that I found? Bowling ball. All 3 straight in a row, and then Jigglypuff's like, what the heck is going on? This guy's in his own groove. He's a monster. Villager, you look in the eyes of the villager. You say you enjoy a villager. I look in the eyes of a villager, and I don't see a soul. That's one of those pics where I'm like, there's no soul behind those eyes.
Like, I was getting ready to say the same thing, because it doesn't matter in what scenario is happening to the villagers. There's always a smile. Just
yeah, it's always a
vacant smile. Oh, it's so creepy. But with that being said, let's see who would now fall to the Grim Reaper that is Villager from Benedictine. And we're going to see Falco, which I don't want to see Falco fall to the Villager because they have just done so well. But again, the bloodlust from Villager can't be denied.
It will not be denied. They will claim more. More blood for the Villager God as they're going to continue this. But hey, yo, Marco's doing a good bit of hurt, right? He's getting that chip into it. Already doing just about as much damage as we got to see the Jigglypuff get to do inside that last one. And this Villager's not going to have as easy of a time. Very much so more mobile on the Falco. So, hey, some of your worries might not be warranted here. As you can see, the Villager saying, hey, I can continue to do this. I can throw out my hydrants. I can throw out my radishes. I got my bowling ball. But Falcon, not letting them play their game. I like Falco's game plan here, their strategy of just making sure the Villager doesn't get to play their style. You do need to be careful, though. Good use of the reflector on the Hydra.
Oh, 100%. I was actually getting ready to make a note of that as well. Like, the reflector from Falco is probably one of their best moves. Again, just it's so good for an anti-zoning type of playstyle. Although I'm not sure if it works against Solid Snake, and so far it's not working. It's not working too great against the Villager, as they already lose their first stock. Falco nearly trying to get this revenge stock here, but Villager, they're just denying.
No, it's just honestly really good stuff there. Good use of the tree. Use the fire hydrant off of the recovery as well to make sure. And check this out. That looked like that was Falco trying to set up for a down smash and off of the arena. But now, there you go. Villager goes splat. You get a close up on those dead eyes, but now those dead eyes have been resurgent with life. Yet again, as they're back over to that 0%, you're going to be A-okay with that. Falco doing a great job yet again. Playing this ledge, making sure to keep that defense up. Falco doing a great job here for Benedict.
Yeah, that they are. And again, they're doing a really good job at avoiding damage right now, but I need to see them apply just a little bit more. I mean, there is only a 10% spread between the two, but again, it just feels like Villager, even though that they're kind of on the back end here, they are controlling the pace of this game. Falco so far has been doing a lot more avoiding than applying.
Yeah, they've been good. Good job getting like some shift blows in here every now and then, but Falco's strategy has not been able to pay off. They're trying to go off the stage. They're trying to finish things off. Last time you did that, Falco, that did not go in your favor. Villager punished you for that. So confidence still there from the Falco, but Villager confidence is unending as they're going to continue laying in those slingshots. Good use of the side special. Be able to get back onto the arena, but Falco gets sent right back up. It's time to plant some trees, send up some hydrants. Now Villager, they're feeling their own groove yet again.
Yeah, there they are. They got the last stock now for the Falco, but I think Falco could and should be able to take at least one more stock away from this Villager. Just looking to find that final opening. Does send the Hydra back, and now Villager forced to recover here at 129, but also keep in mind that Villager has the Rage, so whatever they do is just going to be even more damage. Watch out for the fire hydrants. And now Villager going and bringing out the fisticuffs, laying down at least 33. What a fantastic move there from Villager.
Oh, Villager brought out the pots and gloves. They're just ready. They go right back to the strategy here. Not every day. As a Falco is just like, man, I gotta get back in there. I gotta finish off the stock. I gotta do something here. I can't let him go into the next round with 2 stocks. He has claimed too many souls here, but it's a bunch of radishes that get dropped on the dome of Falco. Villager remains unbeaten.
So I was right, those were radishes, okay? Because like I seen him come out earlier. I saw him come out earlier. I was like, what? Wait, what was that? Like you blink and you miss him, but no, they were radishes. Okay, great. But with that being said, yes, Villager. Oh my God, still alive. The Grim Reaper from Miami, Ohio, has not done collecting souls for their garden. That's what they're planting. They're just planting various souls. Every time you see a tree pop up, there was a previous stock or life, if you will, that was there prior. Again, that's how they get their trees. It's from the collected souls in Smash. Oh my goodness. Let's see what
every stock is fertilizer. Oh, that's a part of the lore now.
Oh yeah, that's 100% lore. You know, and again, we can also take it back to Lavender Town. Maybe that's how the town was constructed. Again, Pokemon reference. But regardless, hey, Lavender Town, again, it hits different. Regardless, let's see who Benedictine is going to be bringing out. They have one player left in the roster, a Sephiroth.
Yeah, this is the Sephiroth that's so terrifying from Benedictine.
Not as terrifying as Villager.
Here we go. This is not your normal matchup. I love that. I love that so much. Alright, here we go. Matchup. Your last player, Sephiroth. This is your ringer to be able to come around. Last time we got to see Sephiroth, they put on a fantastic performance in Benedictine. But can they clutch it up? You got 11 stocks you got to go through. In your limited resources, say you only got 3 chances to roll through the entire gauntlet.
I mean, Villager over here, just the Reaper of Souls. They've already taken enough and then some. I mean, can you really deny, you know, the Prince of Darkness here, the Prince of, you know, skull fractures with the bowling balls? I don't know. And you got to keep in mind, they don't have that reflector that Falco had, so they're going to have a harder time avoiding a lot of this utility and a lot of those fire hijinks, to say the least.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to hear the Animal Crossing thing with theme sung in Latin after this, because they're putting on a raid boss, a final boss impression coming in here. As you can see, Sephiroth having a bit of a struggle. Good use of the down, but they're not going to be able to finish off anything. One of my favorite things about Sephiroth, but they are a lighter character. They do need to be cautious about this as they try to go for something off stage. This is where the villager just feels like they at home.
Oh yeah, they love going off stage, but I think they know that their team has quite the lead. So again, you know, they're not afraid to risk a little bit extra. You know, they're going to go off stage. They're going to go for some cooler moves, put a little flair to the madness here. And, you know, again, I think they know what position that they are in. And Villager, I think they really are just having the time of their lives right now. They're in their zone, as you said.
Yeah, they're playing their game. They're having as much fun as they possibly can. The hydrant mitts up to be able to come about there, beautifully placed inside of the edge of the arena. Sephiroth needs to try and close out the distance and finish off this last stock as soon as possible. They do not want to spend another stock from this villager if they can help it. That tree is going to be to their detriment. They're going to have a hard time dealing with it. And there you go. Send them on flying. Sephiroth finishes off at the Animal Crossing villager.
It's about time someone had to slay the demon, and sometimes it takes a demon to kill a demon. But, you know, regardless, I really need to go back, watch this VOD, because I need to know how many souls were collected by the villager, because it felt like a lot.
It was indeed. Oh, I can tell you that right now. I believe that was 8 or 9 stocks that got taken by the villager, so plenty of trees planted today. A stock claimed as a tree planted. Very good. Makes it good for what the villager's rampage tends to be at the very least. But now you have to figure out who from Miami, Ohio are you going against next. You have a Mii Brawler. You have Ice Climbers. You have Little Mac. You got so many options from Miami, Ohio that come in that are heavy hitters. Who even steps up to the plate? And Sephiroth, are you ready for whoever is going to be pitching your way? Because they're going to throw you a screwball. They're going to throw you a fastball. They're going to mix things up, and they're going to leave you jumbled.
Oh, yeah, that they are. And again, you know, Miami, Ohio, they still have 9 stocks left. They got 3 other players to work with here. So let's get ready to see who they're going to be bringing up next. Who's going to get some screen time for Miami, Ohio? And it's Little Mac. Oh, I love it. People don't like Little Mac a lot, but I certainly do. I love watching the Little Mac go to work here.
Should be interesting just because of the reach advantage that comes about. Sephiroth, like we were talking about earlier on, in terms of as like a sortie, right? They're very light, very quick character. They're very much so like a sortie meets a speedster in their own way. They have some fantastic reach, some great offstage pressure that they're actually able to apply. Very good ledge guards. They have some very good traps, some good setups that they're actually able to go for. Little Mac's kit is very much so. They are fast, they hit, they have that KO punch that comes in. They can be very hard hitting. Their neutral game is great, fantastic, hard to beat, but it's everything else. They are a master of one, and they suffer in most other categories because of it.
And now take a look at this. Sephiroth going right to work here. I mean, the KO punch is still online, so that's still a danger. They use it. Unfortunately, it does whiff, but they close that gap on Sephiroth so quickly. And a real difference maker here between these two is that Sephiroth offstage is a lot better than Little Mac. So if they can get Little Mac offstage, they're pretty much done and dusted.
Yeah, no, that's probably the game plan at this moment. You can see Sephiroth always looking to contest Little Mac. Little Mac off of the ledge, you don't have much in the way to defend against the Sephiroth in this moment in time. And you see Sephiroth just going to continue staying over here on this ledge. You want to continue applying the pressure. And this is where you want to be for Sephiroth. Little Mac, you want to bring things to the center of the stage if you possibly can, just to build up that percentage. And then look for that big, heavy blow here as the percentage has gone into the triple digits for Sephiroth. We're looking at some massive hit from Little Mac to be able to send Sephiroth flying.
Yeah, take a look at this. I mean, right now you see Sephiroth at 117 damage, and again, it's not even going to take a KO punch. If you just land a good smash here, it should send Sephiroth flying. As again, like you said, Sephiroth is just really trying to stick to the edge there, and there it is, the up smash. That's all they need, and the KO punch is right around the corner.
Good stuff to be able to come out there and really punishing that platform, going in there. But a huge heavy hit from Sephiroth. Will Little Mac finalize something of their own? They're looking for a punch. Can they just get that confirmed in the KO? No, it is gone. As Little Mac is going to go ahead and climb up in the percentages, but only one stock remains for Sephiroth. While Little Mac has 2 to work with, they still got plenty of time, plenty of resources. They're looking to try and send Sephiroth back.
Yeah, that they are. But I mean, right now you're seeing that Little Mac is at 128% damage, and they're already pretty squishy.
Oh!
The up B from Little Mac to send Sephiroth into the blast zone and put it in to Benedictine here today. Miami, Ohio, able to finish the game out with an 8 stock benefit to their name. What a performance.
Great stuff. Little Mac coming in huge. Benedictine. You give your hats off to some of the things that we saw inside of it, but it's Miami, Ohio as your last opponent inside of the arena. It's terrifying to deal with because you don't know what you're going to get. They have a plethora of different players, different play styles that they can play inside of it. And it's just a hard team to be able to prep for. My favorite going into playoffs is definitely Miami, Ohio, as they come away with this 8-stock victory to end things off. But Benedictine, you know, they are a team that has shown us some fantastic stuff throughout the season. The Sephiroth is the most notable one that I look at, and I'm like, this Sephiroth is clean.
Yeah, Benedictine has definitely had quite a good season, and you know, whether they win or lose, they've definitely been known to, you know, just for having a modest mentality, and you know, they've really been modest throughout the entire season, and they've just been phenomenal. And they, no matter whether they win or lose, they still keep that same mindset, and they stick through it no matter what. And you know what? They just had to stick through it today against Miami, Ohio. But with that being said, Miami, Ohio, they just came out today on top at peak performance, and they played phenomenally. So again, GG's to them. And again, I look forward to seeing them work in the postseason. But I think that's going to wrap things up for us today, Travesty.
Yeah, that's it for us. We actually have a little bit of a break, I do believe, that will actually be coming up, as playoffs is going to be our next step. Season's over for the regular season, so next time you see us, I believe we're going to be going into our quarters to start getting an idea of these teams going head-to-head with each other. And I believe when I look over at the schedule, let me just pull that up. I believe we have a week break coming up. Yeah, so I don't believe we have games on the 4th and the 5th, but when the 11th and 12th come around, we actually have 2 whole days of Smash action going into our finals. We'll be taking the journey throughout the playoffs from quarters all the way to the grand finals, and you will not want to miss it. So make sure you stay tuned. Keep yourself ready to go for some more Smash action. But that being said, we're done here for today. Take care and have a phenomenal rest of your day.